All right, once again, we back at it. Chuck Dizzle live and direct, keeping it homegrown, man. This is one of the homegrown homies, and we got some history actually, man.
Right.
I'm glad to have this moment right here. For a lot of people that don't understand, sometimes moments take time. You know what I'm saying? And this individual in front of me, Epic Must Die, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We did something called a come-up show here at Real 92.3, and you submitted your music, and that was the first time that I really became familiar with who Epic Must Die was, right? And I think I even asked you one of the first questions. I was like, yo, well, first of all, welcome to the show, bro. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Epic Must
I'm glad to be
Die.
here.
I don't like the name, bro. I'm going to be honest, and I told you then, and I forgot what you told me then, so explain the name Epic Must Die. Why does Epic Must Die, bro?
Really, I was Epic in the beginning. I mean, I had two names before that. I've been fucking around since like high school. But like when I started taking it serious, I was going by Epic. And then this is before or like right when Twitter and Instagram was coming around. So once I needed to make a screen name, I made that my screen name just off like Romeo Must Die. Fucking,
that's all right. I think I do
John
remember you
Tucker
saying.
Must Die. Like it's like, you know, just the number one headband type energy. Like, you feel me? Like you must stop him type of energy. You feel me?
Got it.
But yeah, I went with that just as a screen name, and I kept making music. And then once I started getting songs picked up from like blogs and media, they ran with it. Yeah.
Got it.
And then I just ran with it. And then but I've been having thoughts on going back to Epic. I just want to make sure I'll be able to do it like with the music, like be able to get all my
catalog back.
Yeah,
I mean, in all fairness, it does separate you from everybody because Epic is a pretty common name also amongst artists. So I understand that part of it, but I'm also a believer in, you know, thoughts become things, words are powerful, and things of that nature. So it's like anything that has that energy in it, I'm like, that's why I didn't really care for it too much. But I understand your intent behind it, and I think that's even more powerful than the words itself. So
that's why I respect my like the people who really fuck with me, like super, like after listening to the music, because it just showed me like anybody that's like a super fan of me, that means that they were like, you know, like they got past that.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure it's something for a lot of some people it don't bother them, but I feel like majority of people it's something you got to get past.
Right.
First, and then once you do, you realize that, like, you know, like the name don't really matter. My name,
and then
Toothpick.
you have substance in your music too, and I think that's why a lot of people rock with you. And it's like it's not only relatable, it's vulnerable. It's like you scratch the surface on a lot of different things, and I definitely want to get into this on this project too with Gamble. Like you hit on depression, you hit on things that, you know, I haven't really heard you really kind of dive into as much as the other projects, the other songs. For you, was that one of the main things that you were like, okay, that's not a bucket list thing, but that's one thing I want to scratch off. I want to kind of dig deeper into who I am as a person, or is that just always who you've been?
I feel like I'm naturally like that. Like outside of the music, I'm just like an intense person. And then I was doing the Talk to Him Tuesday freestyles, and I was like taking it there in those freestyles like multiple times, and I'm just like, I need to do this on some records.
Gotcha.
And just, you know, encapsulate it. But truth be told, I got like 50 records like that. Like that's like touching, but nobody, I feel like you gotta be
Kind of know it, right?
You gotta be picky choosy with it. You can't just have an album full of those. Nobody.
Wait, so it's like songs that are already out, or like things that
like
you
in my
recorded?
Malaysia, like in the hard drive, I got records, but really it's my therapy. So when I need somebody to talk to, or like instead of going to like a therapist, I'll go to the studio. When I need space, I'll go to the studio. I'll vent on records, and like some of them is like I'll record them, and it's just like I feel like the purpose was for me to just get that off.
Gotcha, and not necessarily for the masses consumption. It's just for you.
Some songs I listen to them, and it'd be that same effect, but it'd be like, I need to put this out so this can happen for somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a song like Questions would be
bro.
like that. Like, somebody else need to hear this so they could feel how I feel, you know. But some of them I'll be like, man, nah, this one I'm gonna keep in the tuck. But you never know.
I want to go there. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to go there with Questions, man, because I feel like that's one of those songs. No matter where you are in life, you can have things going for you. You still question your purpose. You still question like what's going on, and I want you to speak to that, because no matter where you are in life, you're still gonna have questions about yourself and your purpose and all of these things.
Yeah, man. Like, well, with that song specifically, like, I didn't even really think when I was writing it, and I didn't really write it. It was more of like I just sat with that beat for like a couple days and would just like that's the energy where it was taking me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and as far as like just questioning it in life, it's never ending. It's never ending questions. You're never gonna get the full answer to life, but I think you got to do
right
to even get close to that. Like you can have all the questions you want if you don't make no movement. You never gonna get an answer, but
like a lot of people get stuck with that, bro.
You got to make movement, and you can't just stress. You got to just you got to look forward, head down. I've caught myself questioning things a lot of the time, and then you realize you spent a bunch of time wasting questioning it when you could have been doing.
Was that something that you learned out of doing, or was it something that somebody gave you the insight to, hey man, action, you need to do something about it?
I think it came from me just failing. All right, just me learning it from my own experience.
Mm-hmm.
I looked back on times where I felt like I was being stagnant by questioning what was going on and just thinking about too much instead of just doing.
Gotcha.
So, I think I learned it from myself. I mean, it's people around me. I've seen it, happen for them too, where I like learned through them, but definitely I learned from experience.
Speaking of that, the name of the album, Gamble.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the play on words with that, because I mean, as we're talking about failure, I'm thinking about you have to risk in order to succeed. Sometimes it might not work in your favor. Is that a part of the name, or
that's definitely a part of the name?
Okay.
Like as far as on the life side of it, it's just a gamble. Life in general, you never know what's gonna happen when you leave your door. But on a deeper level, musically and like personally, for me, it was on some like this is it. This is the risk and reward part of my life. Like, what do I risk to get the reward that I want? This is the moment for me right now, where it's like I gotta put all in or not do it at all.
Yeah. So what has been the response from the people? You know what I'm saying? After this album is out now.
Man, it's been a good response, to be honest. I mean, I feel like my expectations be like super high, but like I haven't heard nothing negative. And if it was, I don't think nobody would probably tell me. But and
that'd be crazy. Like, man, no, this shit was cool. Like, it was mid. Like, I'm not gonna tell you your shit was
I'm
mid.
the type of nigga I would be like, damn, I would like appreciate the honesty. But
hey, no, in that moment though, if somebody tell you like some shit that you really worked hard on, like, hey man, that shit was kind of trash. Like, how do you respond to that as Epic? Like, do you just take that, or you just like, damn, like, how do you respond to that?
It's hard to like get. I'm not like one of them butthurt niggas.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I'm like, I go comedic level with it. Okay. I'll be like, for real, damn. It's that bad? Like, it's worse than your shit?
Right.
That's crazy. Like, I'll do some little underhanded shit like that. The niggas get to popping, then we can pop it. But we could rap too, and niggas don't ever want to do that. So we just keep it joke.
Yeah, like, I totally get that. And it's like, you don't want to take it there. I think you're one of those, like, I was talking to Reason about that too. Reason is one of those, like, yo, you can really do comedy if you really put the effort into it.
If I wanted to, by just watching these niggas,
bruh,
I could do comedy.
Bruh, right up.
But
epic,
I'd rather rap, bro. Like, I don't know, but you know how it is with me, man.
What did because this might be the first time some people are seeing you, man. Where did that introduction to rap, to hip hop, what was that for Epic?
I mean,
I like to ask this question. What was the first album that you bought with your own money?
The first album that I bought with my own money, it's crazy because I was too young to really technically have my own money, but it was money I earned through,
allowance or some shit.
Exactly. Well, just basically to where my mom was like, okay, I'll go get you something from Target, and I chose to get an album this time, and I think it was it Chicken and Beer?
Ludacris?
I think it was Chicken and Beer.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, and I loved, I had the whole little open it up. Then right after that, I remember I went and got Food and Liquor, and then, yeah, like that's where it all started for me. And then I was like, man, they both introduced me to something different in rap,
that's
Ludacris
wild.
And Lupe.
It was funny, I heard Ludacris say something about Jay-Z told him that people, he's not, I don't know if Jay-Z said this, but I think he came to the conclusion why he's not regarded as one of those higher MCs is because he plays too much. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he's like, damn, that's crazy, but that's me. I can't get outside of that. Yeah, Ludacris.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of his. People all the time, people who meet me in real life always tell me like, bro, you need to figure out a way to like put your character. You're funny. You're like the funniest nigga I know. And it's like, or they're like, you don't do interviews, and I'm like, bro, with time, like back to the beginning of this, just with time, like I feel like I'm one of those people you discover, and then you're like, oh damn, you get excited about it, and then you get to do a deep dive.
Yeah,
so it's fun.
And you're working on that catalog too, bro. And
I'm working on it.
Yeah. So prior to this, let's go to the prior to this album, right? The EP that you dropped, okay, and how it ties into this album as well. And I feel like there's a theme with gambling and the sweets and all that, man. So talk about that. Why are you intentional about that representation?
I just like to have a concept. I'm a fan of concept albums and just concept projects in general. And for me, it started with the 4 Suits. That idea just came from looking at the cards in the heart, the diamond, the club, and literally if we go back, if you go look at the track list, I got 4 songs, 4 suits. Each song for each suit is relative to the actual suit. So the heart is a love song. The club is like a club record.
Fire, yeah.
The spade is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, I like to keep it like that way. And then that was just like a small project within, like Gamble was already maybe 80% done. And I'm like, I'm definitely not going to use these songs on the album. But I want to put them out, and how can I make it correlate to what I'm about to do next? And that's how that came about.
And again, for the people that may not know, your relation to Desi G, the Corner Store,
my brother,
Boogie, you know what I'm saying? All these people you came up with, are these relationships from childhood or these relationships from school? Like, talk about your relationship with them.
Well, with Dez, yeah, I knew him we going like past a decade. Really, both of the people you mentioned. And I just know Dez through school and back in the jerking days. We had a channel, Flirting and Jerking, or was it Vintage Bros channel.
Oh, damn.
We done had like over 1 million views on that channel back in them days. And then we just always stayed together because we had relative thinking. Like we were just on the same path. I got a lot of homies from high school, but now that we here today, ain't no beef or nothing, but I don't hang with them because we not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to. I'm gonna always be with Dez because we like-minded, so we just on the same mission.
I heard somebody say separation requires elevation. And it's like sometimes you got to separate from the people that you knew before because you guys ain't on the same path, and there's no love, no loss. It's just like I'm on a different path. You know what I mean? Have you had a hard time doing that, like in regards to your elevation throughout the years and letting go? Like,
that's funny. I mean, I'm not with a lot of people I started in music with, no, and. I feel like God did it for me. I didn't have a problem with it happening. It just happened for me. Like maybe it was incidents or occasions or over time. But honestly, like looking back, I feel like the weight that falls off you is the weight you needed to go upward. You know what I'm saying? So
it makes sense. And I say that for the people that have a hard time letting go of those friendships, especially whether it's family or somebody that you've known since elementary. Like sometimes it's hard for people to let go of those relationships because they feel an obligation to stay connected for whatever reason. I feel it's the same thing sometimes when as soon as you detach, you notice your life or things change in a certain way. It's like, oh damn, that was a lesson I was supposed to figure out. And the moment I detach from that, things start happening for me.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky. It's
right.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, like I said though, I mean, for some people they forcefully make that happen. And I just feel like if you just, which goes back to what we were saying earlier, if you just do and you just go, it's going to happen. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of people might not be there. And that's all right if it's what you want to happen,
Now, I'm going to ask you this today because I know things change. And with artists, you don't necessarily have a favorite record. All of them your babies, right? So today, what's your favorite record today off of the project? Today.
It's Threat. Yeah, definitely today. So I just be feeling like, bro, like niggas can't fuck with me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That song really one of those, like it embodied that for me. Like I'll play that if nigga, oh, but do you really rap? And you really, I'll just play that.
Back to the. So do you? We also do this thing. Well, I haven't done it in a while, but I guess that would be the perfect way to say it. I always ask people like what's your business card track? So if somebody's hasn't pressed played on the album, on Gamble, which song do you feel like is the best representation of Epic Must Die today and who he is, and you want them to get? It's a business card track. Like I know people don't have business cards these days, but if you were to walk up to somebody on the street and say, yo, this is the best representation of my catalog, my body of work off of this project.
On the album.
On the album.
Dang, it would probably be like And it's a tough choice between the intro and the outro. I just feel like it's kind of like a little open lens on me for a second. And I don't know. Damn, it would probably be questions.
I would say intro.
I feel that way too.
Yeah, because and that's the thing, because the reason why I say that is because I've known you for some years, and I learned something off. I was like, oh damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that the history of Wiz Khalifa and him shouting you out, and I love the fact that you actually put that snippet in there for people to actually hear. I think he was on Revolt with the homie DJ Damage, talking about you South by Southwest,
so it can make sense and just resonate for people. Like, oh, okay, so factual, like like, you know what I'm saying.
Talk about that moment briefly, because I know it's been some years, but you know, the line that you had in there was said, you know, I guess it wasn't tailor-made. For the folks that haven't heard the album just yet, I'm going to spoil it for you. You went to South by Southwest. He sees you performing, and he connects with you, and after, I guess, some years go by and things don't transpire the way you may have hoped or the way you made it seem. No love lost, but you just like, yo, I guess it wasn't tailor-made, right?
Facts.
I love the way you flipped that, first and foremost, but talk about that experience and importantly, what you learned from that. From that day to today.
Well, I say it wasn't tailor-made, like literally meaning like it wasn't suited for me, like, you know, bar intended, pun intended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, it's no diss, no nothing. I just thought it was fire wordplay. But like in reality, like, yeah, looking back, you know, there was a moment in my life where I felt like maybe I was supposed to do that. Or like, cause the way it really was set up was like kind of like an open-ended, like yo, like, you know, I'm fuck with you. Let's do it. And I was the one that was kind of like not running into that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't say it was out of fear. To be honest, I just felt like, do I want to be, that's not what I want to attach myself to. I want to do a record with you, but like to completely introduce myself into the world, like next to you, it's like not what I'm like visioning for myself.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if it was took as disrespect or like, you know, I'm not only riding you pause too enough. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of other niggas would be like, oh my God,
I'll take the opportunity.
Please. And me, I went straight into thought, like let me think about this, and like maybe that was instantly like no, you thinking about it, like, right. Yeah, and I don't regret thinking about it, you know, looking back at the trajectory. I really don't. So,
no, and you're right, because it's like at certain, when you get introduced by another artist, and I say this all the time, man. It's tough because it's hard to be signed to an artist, especially if they're active, right? Because that artist has to then stop their energy and put it into you. In most cases, that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that would have been the case for you or whatever, but it's okay for you to think that. And again, we don't know what his reaction really is. I don't know. You guys haven't had a conversation or anything to this day, right?
I ran into him like maybe twice, like after that actual incident, but like since the album and stuff, no. But since the initial meeting him, like, yeah, I ran into him another time, and then we spoke, and that's when he was like telling me to come to House of Blues. I'm like, let's chop it up again. He's like, I got a show, House of Blues. I went. I wasn't able to get in, but to be fair, it was a lot of people. I was standing next to Travis Barker and I forget who. We couldn't get in.
Got you.
So and then I hit him like, yo, I couldn't get in. He's like, man, come the next night. I got you. Like, my bad. Next night, same thing happened. So, you know, I just take it as looking back. That's why I say I stopped searching and started attracting. Whatever's meant for me is meant for me. I will never wait. I will call again. Yeah. For anybody.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not supposed to be there, y'all would come get me if it was really like that. Like, you know?
Well, I'm glad you learned from that situation, or at least you got what the intended message was for you.
Exactly.
And because a lot of people would hold on to that. You know what I'm saying? And by that, you block other blessings that, you know what I'm saying?
Anger, get to tweeting, fuck so-and-so, whoop-de-whoop. Nah, I still download niggas' music.
Right.
I still, like, it's all part of the journey. The fact that I'm even able to have that be part of my journey to build my character is a blessing upon itself, so I don't be tripping.
Yeah, but so back to my point, I would say that would be a perfect business card track, because that's a good introduction to who Epic is. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Especially today, it gives people the history. You know, you barred up, obviously, but you're being
it's
insightful.
A small glimpse. It's a small glimpse into the life of the real.
Now you have your son on the album too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, was that the intro and outro, right?
The intro and the outro, and in the beginning of Sugar Free, he make a little appearance on there. Yeah.
How does he look at Epic the dad, like the rapper? Does he understand it?
I mean, with like TikTok and social media, like now, like he understands I rap because he been there at the studio with me and he know what I do, and he understand I'm good at it. He actually he actually like my music too. Like he like what I be doing, but he say he only like the ones that's bumpy, like easy peasy, and he don't want to hear the intro.
He don't want to hear no rabbity rap.
Yeah,
shit.
He not rocking with that, but he rock with it.
I love kids' honesty, man. They'll let you know straight up, like, okay, I got something or I don't, but it's they say you should make music for the kids that's simple enough for them to get it, and they'll let you know straight up, man. So do you take that into the recording process, or do you kind of keep that separate?
I think that is like naturally part of me now from having a kid around me, or like 4 or 5 year old around me. It kind of like I'll listen to something like, would he rock with this? Like subconsciously, like my son ain't gonna like the songs that like slap, and I know I'm like even my son going like you know what I'm saying? That's when I know like.
So I gotta ask you this. You know, I do this dad advice, bro. You know, as a father, what dad advice would you give to myself and other dads out there?
Be honest with your kids, man. I'm gonna say this every time, even when you feel like, oh, this is a little, he only 6. Like, no, tell him the real, bro. Because when you get older, you just gonna appreciate, like, damn, my dad never sugarcoated nothing. Yeah. And he kept it real, and then in turn, you gonna keep it real with your dad. Them things that a lot of dudes lie about and like don't be ready to tell their dad, your child not gonna do that, because the relationship, you keep it real with them, they gonna keep it real with you.
On all fronts though?
I feel like on all, my mom is super vulgar, real with me, like never hid nothing, like super. So I feel like I'm like that with my son, and I feel like I'm like that with her. Now that I'm grown, I tell her, like, Mom.
And you can have that open-ended communication.
Yeah, like I lost my virginity, I called my mom.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't like calling homies, like, guess what happened?
Wait.
Hey, guess what happened? I got some pussy. It's like, Mom.
So no.
Hey, so da-da-da. It's like, you wore a condom, right? Like, yeah. That's so good. You get what I'm saying?
No, let's rewind real quick.
Yeah, because I really talked to my mom.
Listen, hold on. Epic. Talk to me real quick. You in the snatch. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You release.
No, not immediately.
And then the first call you make is to Mike. Ma, guess what?
No, she was the first person I told though that this happened.
I'm thinking you like straight out.
No,
like,
you would never.
Ma, guess what?
No, but I definitely know it was some next day type shit.
Okay.
Like literally, like I couldn't hold it like to where like I'm around my mom. It's like, oh, she don't know. Like, so, you know.
All right, and you not being descriptive or nothing to mom.
Nah,
right? Okay, I just want to know. I don't know what type of relationship y'all got. Like, if you're that open with her, or if it was like this.
She's like, boy, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I could tell her. It's not something where it's like, I be hearing grown men like, my mama will never know. Even smoking. They're like, my mama will never see me smoke a blunt. And they try to say it's a respect thing. Like, and it's like, I mean, if your mom find that disrespectful, I get it. But like, I don't want to hide no part of myself, especially from your own mother. You should be comfortable.
I get that, but I think there's a certain level of respect that comes with, right? So, for example, are you a faith-driven person? Do you go to church?
Yeah, I grew up in church.
Did you ever cuss in church?
My mother's name is Faith.
Wow, that's crazy synchron. Okay, did you ever cuss in church?
I've cussed in church, yeah.
Intentionally, or was it just like, I fucked up? Oh,
I
my
mean,
bad,
I've
Lord.
slipped up in.
You're not walking in there like, man, hey, this motherfucker, this shit crazy.
No.
House of
but
God.
I definitely swore on accident. I grew up in the church for real, like 2 years old, running around. So like, I spent enough time to have
my point is that you have a certain level of respect for the church to not want to just go in there and act crazy, regardless if that's who you are, right? So I kind of feel like that's what people's mentality is when it comes to their parents. It's like, yeah, I would like to be honest, but I'm not telling my mom, and some back shots from old girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing
just telling her like, hey, yeah, I'm not a virgin no more. You know that scene on ATL? When That's what I'm telling you. Okay. But like, I could do that with my moms though, not with Unc. Like, I feel like that's like different. Like, I could really call my mom and like really ask some real shit, not no generic son to mom shit. Where you calling your mom all fake, like, how you doing? Yeah. Nah, we gonna really like
chop it up.
Yeah.
So okay, with that being honest, I want to stick with the kids again. So on all fronts, you're honest with your kids. So for Christmas, is it Santa?
No, it's me.
It's you. It's always been that way?
I let his mom have what she want to have early on. Like, you can't destroy the cuteness of stuff. But like, my son is very like, he will ask questions. And I'm just not finna lie.
Not gonna hide that. Right. I got you.
And once he start getting intrigued with stuff like that, so Santa Claus, he the one bring them. I'm like, no. And I really tell him like, no, that's just a like I go there with him.
Gotcha.
And then even if you don't understand, it's like, yeah, I got that off though. I know that I told him the truth.
Right. At least, again, the intention behind it is that you're being honest with them and letting them know versus be like, nah, ain't no Santa Claus.
Even recently, we had a passing in the family, right? And he was wondering what was going on. He was looking at people's reaction the past couple of days, like it's something. And then he asked me on his own, like, what happened to, I'm not going to say a name here, but they're like, what happened to? And I told him the real. Like the real for real, like this is what happened. He's like, he died. I'm like, yes. Do you understand what that is? He's explaining to me. It's crazy because he's telling me like, well, I seen on TikTok that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have this conversation with you. And that's why people, once again, need to be real and honest to talk to their kids or TikTok going to be honest
gonna be their kid.
with your kid. And then you will see where that goes. So, I'm fighting against the other powers of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
but raising a child.
At least you have that balance, and like you said, you're giving them that conversation, whereas you're not just sticking the tablet in front of them or letting them watch. And I'm subjective with that also, as far as letting my kid watch all that stuff. But as long as you are having that balance of that real time with them, it's okay because they're getting that real deal from you. So I got a better understanding of the honesty in terms of talking to your kids in that way. That makes a lot of sense.
Like he ain't a kid. Like he's a kid, but I talk to him. We have manly conversations.
The one homie, shout out to the homie Merz, man. He told me one piece of dad advice he gave me years ago before I had my kid. He was like, yeah, don't do the baby talk to your kids.
Like, no.
Talk to them like they're they're an adult, but talk to them like a real person because it's gonna be hard to wean them off of that because if you like they're gonna be 7, 8 years old, like, hey man, nah, like cut that shit, cut that out. And I've heard that I've seen that with other kids, and it's like, but the baby, bro, you're 9. What the fuck are you doing? It's like, and to each his own. Everybody raises their kids different, but yeah, that's not something I'm trying to have. You know what I mean?
At all. No.
So be honest with your kids. Be honest with your kids.
Be as honest as you can. Yeah. Like, because they're not stupid. That's what I see a lot of parents like, oh, he don't know. Yes, he does.
He gets it, yeah.
He knows exactly what's going on. He knows that you drink that at night, you start acting funny. Like, kids aren't stupid. Like, Then it comes to a point when they 6 now. You drink a lot, mommy.
Damn.
Now you mad at your son because he's just observing and being honest. Like, I smoke a lot. I had to tell my son, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
He's about to be 5 soon. I still have.
So how do you explain to your son that you smoke weed?
I told him this is something that I do as an adult, and it's nothing that you have any business doing. When you become an adult, I'll talk to you deeper about it. I definitely let him know what it is. Like, this is called marijuana.
Yeah. I don't want to get too much into it, but at what age do you feel like you can because you say adult, we think is 18, but if he like 13
and 13, he want to talk about it.
13 was like, yo,
he wants to.
He wants to.
I would be like, why?
I see.
I would just want to know why. So you just want to be like me.
I want to be like my dad.
I'll be like, well, I don't smoke no more.
Would you really quit? Are you?
I probably would. Like I'm in that moment, I would probably be like, okay, I don't smoke no more. Then now copy me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he looks at it like bad stuff. It's not like cool and he be saying it like it's bad. It's bad stuff.
I like that. I like that.
I don't know. He associates smoking with just, like, I have a shirt with like Bob Marley on it. He's like, he's doing bad stuff on your. So it's like
I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Go ahead and keep thinking it's bad stuff until we gotta have that conversation.
Is there anything that's off limits when it comes to rapping for you, like that you haven't been comfortable with telling a part of your story?
Oh, as a part of my story, nah, not of my story. Like in general, I was gonna say like women bashing. I never really like bashed women on record.
Yeah,
but like, I think I'm gonna touch every aspect of my life. I just know that I make music kind of in looking back, like. So, like, a lot of the records on this album are things that happened in my life, maybe in 2021.
Got it.
In when I get to writing lyrics, I'm thinking about a year ago. I don't. Some songs I'll be right in time in that moment, but a lot of stuff is reminiscent for me. Like,
so what your process? We'll wrap up in a sec, but your process, you're constantly recording, or do you take moments to kind of like let me live and then kind of record based off of what I live?
I go through spurts. Like I go through spurts where like the studio might be secondary right now for this week because I'm having a focus with my son. He been acting out.
Gotcha.
I need to lock in as a father right now. And then in turn, which is crazy, it's like a blessing. Like through that, like let's say however long days that is, inspiration comes from that. Damn. Something happens, something in your life gives you something. Well, for me. Yeah. And then now I'm in the studio. Now my whole mind has switched. I got to get this off. Like it's like shit to build up in me. It's like I got to release. I got to go to the studio. Then I'll let it off, and I'm able to live again a little bit. Then it builds up, and now I got to go release again. Like,
how often do you listen to? Because you mentioned recording just as a therapy, right, and just kind of venting. How often do you go back and listen to those songs?
It's scary. I don't do it often, but I swear, like literally 4 days ago, I went in my email and I listened to a song from 2016. I did with my boy Kiel. It's back when the homie was living in Burbank. And we was just out there recording a lot. And I'm like, damn, like the things I was saying in the song were like speaking to me right now. And that's how I know, like kind of how Questions, I feel like it's not me on that song. And I'm kind of getting spoken to. Wow. And I'm like, yeah, this is one of, I'm damn near was like, man, I need to record this. I need to re-record this. I need to put this out. Like, oh, why I didn't do that. Yeah. Like, I do go back, but it's like, that's a tricky thing, man. Like, it'll really, your songs come back to haunt you. Anybody that make music, they probably hearing that. Like, facts, I know what you're talking about. Like,
I do want to touch on, again, the Corner Store again, and just the team that you have around you, right? I mean, we were just in the studio with Kai and Desi, like, you know, and shout out to KB. I'm always on KB. KB, I'm on your head. You need to be dropping.
On your head, bro. They
want to be on you. But I say that because you have a lot of talented people that's in your circle, right? Shout out to the homie Aaron. Like, you got a lot of talented folks that are around you. Talk about the importance of having that strong team around you and how that inspires you in turn to kind of be the creative that you are today.
It's a blessing ultimately to somehow, you know, like my energy is able to coexist with other dope energies and we just create a dope thing. I think it's important to have around just to bounce ideas off of people and just to always be able to look to your left and right and understand that, they moving. Right. Like, we jogging. It's like kind of like not relay, because I want to say we're not passing batons to each other. Almost like we racing on different lanes but for the same cause. Yeah. You know? And it ain't about who get to the finish line first.
I love how you guys are putting on for the city. I love the representation that you guys are putting on for us, because it makes, for me, you know, I can only speak for myself as somebody that's in media and it just a homie or whatever, you know what I mean? It just feels good to be able to put people on to your music. Like, I was just telling my nephew the other day, he always get on me. He's from Virginia, right? So his taste of West Coast music, we always go back and forth. He's like, man, y'all got the same sound, and I'm like, bro, you need to tap in. They do, though. But
niggas, yeah.
But I'm telling him that there's people that you need to listen to.
Dig.
Right.
You gotta dig through a lot of trash, so it's hard. And once you get down there, you're all stinky and dirty, and you don't even want to listen to the music no more. It's crazy, bro. It's smog, right? And I'm a breath of fresh air. That's how I be feeling. But you can't. It's too much shit in LA. A lot of whoop-de-whoop and wop-de-wop. And
my point by saying this was I remember telling him, well, he hit me the other day, and he was like, man, have you heard of this dude named Westside Boogie? I'm like, nigga, I interviewed this nigga 7 years ago. Yeah, I sent you the link and told you to listen to his music. You didn't do it. Check the date. So I said it to say it. I hit him with the link today. I said, yo, if you love Boogie, you're going to love this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I said I love being able to put people on to new music.
You the coolest nigga in the world.
Especially when it's from, we got that hometown, favoritism. I'm not going to lie, but it feels good when the product matches the accolades or when you boost it up. So
I appreciate that.
I'm always root for you, bro. I'm proud of you. I love the fact that this album is phenomenal. I'm glad you let me listen to it early. Glad we had that conversation before.
Yes,
Looking forward to everything. What is one thing that the year can't end without Epic Must Die doing what?
I'll probably drop another project. It can't end before I drop another project.
Really? So you got one in the chamber.
Really get to the rap shit though. Like,
really?
Yeah.
So when you say get back to the rap shit, which means you already got some shit to tuck. I
got a couple. Yeah.
Which means how done is the next album? If you had to put a gauge, are the songs recorded?
I got recorded songs. So with me, it's just like I'm recording songs and then I'll put it together because they all end up being kind of cohesive.
Okay.
And I'll just make it happen.
So new album before the year.
Yeah, I'm songs in though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get back to the, I had some singing records on the album. They liked it, but like, that's I got to get back to what I really do, because it's guys saying they doing it. These guys are saying they doing it, Chuck. They not doing it, man.
Look, we'll wait and see, bro. We'll wait and see. I mean, you've already showcased your talent. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to the corner store, the corner store late the freestyle.
Oh, corner store freestyle.
Oh
hey, man,
God.
I be having niggas coming to me, no lie, man. I'm gonna big myself up a little bit.
As you should.
Niggas be, hey, Desi got like 200 episodes. How you still the best one? You the first. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to be able to take it and do the same thing at LA Leakers, the same thing at Sway. I promise you, I'm capable of like making that type of splash, but they gotta let a nigga in the pool. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shark, man. Big shark. They don't want, you know what I'm saying? Black shark.
Big ass black shark.
They don't want to do it.
Epic, man. I appreciate you, brother. Gamble out right now. Going to support this dude.
Now, man.
And I look forward to future conversations, man. Appreciate you.
We're going to have them.
Absolutely, man. Live and direct, keeping it homegrown. My boy Epic. We'll tap into the music, man. We live and direct with it.